Guys, we're going to continue our fossil packet, and yesterday we did this little guy and then wrote a paragraph on this fossil of two fish eating each other. Today we're going to go on to the next page, which says wet or dry, and you guys can follow along with the interactive book, okay? So we're probably only going to get to the wet part today, and we'll do the dry part tomorrow. Ancient aquatic ecosystem. Think about the fossil you just looked at, this guy. It is the evidence of two prehistoric organisms. It shows us more than just two organisms. We know that both organisms lived in the same ecosystem at the same time. Look at the aquatic or underwater ecosystem below. It existed about 400 million years ago. Now, in yours, you are going to have to play like a matching game with these eventually. So you'll have to match the definitions with the actual animals. So this one is, it is a feather star. Feather stars were related to present-day sea stars. They lived attached to the sea floor. This is an ancient fish. The head of this fish was covered with armored plates, and the rest of its body was covered with thick scales. All right, that's pretty cool. He's gnarly looking. Ammonite. These organisms lived inside a long shell. They were related to present-day squids and octopus. Those are pretty cool looking. I like those. I'd like one as a pet. And our last one you're very familiar with, brachiopods. They look like present-day clams. Thick shells protected their soft bodies. Remains of their shells can be found as fossils today. And those are the fossils we found in the Ottsee Lake River bed. All right, so now that we've learned a little bit about each one, we need to make a claim about each one. So let's see. These organisms had feathery arms that caught food particles floating within reach. Well, when you look at your packet, do you think it's the squid, the plant-like thing, or the fish? If it had feathery arms, it was probably the plant-like thing. The next one says these organisms had tentacles they used to catch their food, such as fish. And we know which one has tentacles. Yes. And then the last one says these organisms use their powerful jaws to catch and eat sharks and other fish. Yeah. The only one that's got a jaw out of these three is this fish here. All right, guys, so let's keep going. So now we have to make some inferences, and inference is just a fancy word for drawing conclusions. How we draw conclusions is we take stuff from the text, or in this case from the picture, and from our brain, and put it together to come up with an answer, okay? So what evidence supports your claims in the previous question about how each organism got its food? I know, when we're looking at this guy, we're going to use our I know because, okay? I know they use their powerful jaws because, and then you're going to go ahead and look at him. How do we know he used powerful jaws to get his food? He's got giant teeth. All right, so you can write that down. That's an observation you can use. The next one, I know they caught their food with their feathery arms because, and I want you to take a second to look at that fossil and see if you can draw a conclusion. How do we know they caught food with their feathery arms? And the last one says, I know these organisms use their tentacles to catch food because, and then you'll have to make a good guess, right? A good hypothesis. All right, guys, that's all we're going to do for science today. And writing responses are going well. I love you, and I'll see you later.